Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of How About That Survivor. Last episode, we successfully added the drowned farm to farming area. Yeah, we added this to the farming area. We now have an incredible amount of tridents coming in. And we got the tridents into every single portal on the overworld side of the Guardian farm. And it's definitely working because, as you can see, I am level 82. And climbing. This episode, we're gonna add storage. We're going to build a massive item sorter and just organize everything. So we can sit here as long as we want and it will never have overflow issues. Between episodes, I got 2 stacks of hoppers, 32, I got half a stack of target blocks, and I made about a stack of comparators so that we can have all the materials needed to build this. I ended up AFKing at the iron farm for like 18 hours straight to get enough iron to build all this. But we gotta get a reliable farm and source of redstone dust coming in soon, guys. It is seriously hard buying all that redstone just without one villager, so sometime in the future we're gonna have to make a few changes there. Anywho, we've got all the resources, so I think we're gonna go ahead and start building some item sorters down there. I've laid out a bunch of chests. Now, this isn't counting for the tridents yet, because I'm going to need an allay to sort those out. And generally speaking, I don't have an allay yet, and I don't know how to build an allay sorting chamber. I know there's a lot that goes into it, and I haven't played around with the allays yet, which is kind of sad, since they've been out for like 3 to 4 months, but I'll get to it. Next up, we're gonna go lay out all the hoppers, and then we're gonna start building the redstone magic that sorts all of it. Okay, guys, hoppers are in. Now, we get to go ahead and put in the magic redstone. Okay, guys, now when you're gonna build this item sorter, behind this hopper. So we got this one hopper that's facing into nothingness. You have to have this above every column of chests and hoppers below it, because this is the item sorter, so you can't have this going into anything. And it can't be pointing down, because otherwise all the items are going to flow out, it's going to be a mess, it's not going to work right, etc, etc. So step 1 to building this item sorter, you're going to pop down, you got to crouch, and pop a block on the back of this hopper, going into the first chest. On that block, you're going to add a comparator, and that comparator is going to be going into a solid block. It has to be a solid block. So it can't be glass or anything like that. Now, once you got that solid block there, put some redstone dust below it. Behind it. Put some redstone dust behind it on a glass block. And then grab your slabs and go down a block, and then go down another block. And when you go on up there, take your redstone dust, put it on all 3 of those blocks right there. This block has to be glass so that the redstone can travel through it. If it's not glass, the signal is not going to make it through, and your sorter is not going to work. Now, after you've got that in there like so, take your target block, slap it right there next to the redstone dust, and put a redstone torch on the end. Now, that should be it. Your sorter should be working. Take whatever item it is you want sorted, and put it in the first slot. Oh, this also right here, this needs to be a full block, otherwise your items are just gonna flow on down. Oof. Spy zombie died. So put all the items you want sorted in that first slot. And then you put excess items there. And because you've got this glass block here, see how the redstone's going down and traveling all the way through into that target block? That will deactivate the redstone torch whenever you have an excess amount of items in here. So an item that's not going to be running through your system, you need to put in these back 4 blocks. So a lot of people will rename the item, anvil or whatnot, but I don't think you need to do that. It's just extra work. If you just put in 4 blocks that won't be in the farm, it'll do just the same. And now, whatever items you've got in there will flow all the way through, and they'll make it to the bottom chest. This should stop at 41, so you should have 41 items in there. And you hook this up to your hopper line, and as items flow through, this will just continue to sort them through. So I'm going to go ahead and replicate this a few times over, and I will be back with you guys in a sec. I've gotten in all the item sorters. Every single item filter has been set up. Each one is labeled with a corresponding item frame and item on the front of the chest. I've only run through the drown farm items so far though. So what we're going to do is hook up the item input, where they all get collected up there, and run it into the item sorter input. So all the items will just run on through and get sorted automatically. So I ain't got to move them back and forth. So what we're going to do is run this hopper line under those points. Sorry guys, I completely forgot to hit record there. But essentially what I did for the drown farm is I ran a redstone signal, a redstone line, going all the way down from the bottom. So you see on the back of the just droppers right there, you got the blocks, run a redstone on top of those solid blocks all the way up. And right here at the lever, you got a little clock set up, so whenever you flip the lever, the Triton killer starts running, the clock is ticking, drowns die, items get dropped. But like I was saying, right now we can't run this, because due to the lack of trident sortage, and our inability to sort out all the tridents right now, it's going to get backed up very quickly. So until we get an allay set up, we cannot run the drown farm. No! All fixed. We need an allay to get this. But lucky for us, one of our fellow members has allays, and he has offered to sell us one. So, let's go meet with him. Okay guys, I'm sorry to report that the audio and video for that clip did get corrupted. I do have a little bit of footage on the way home with the allay though, so I'm going to go ahead and roll some of that. Okay guys, so off camera I decided to run a little bit of an AFK test on the Guardian farm. I didn't turn on the drown farm because, like I said earlier, Tridents would back it up. But I ran the test, I checked everything out. Down there, okay, item sorter down here, before I removed all the extra hoppers, nothing backed up. Like, this is not even halfway full. This isn't really all that full. And over here in fish, I mean, we didn't get too much, but up here, we have a bit of an issue, because it is 100% completely and utterly backed up. So, I think what I'm going to have to do is add 4 extra droppers, and I'm going to have to set up a bit of a faster redstone clock. So what I've gone ahead and done is I've removed all, like, the redstone clocks and timers and stuff that we had before. And I've gone ahead and stripped it down to just this and this one redstone line. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove all the items from these hoppers, get a few more droppers, and start setting this up. Gone ahead and completely reworked all the redstone and dropper and hopper system for this up here. I've completely shifted everything over a block, messed around with a lot of the clocks and timers. Instead of a repeater clock, I've now got a comparator clock. A lot's changed. But I've been standing here for about 10 minutes. I'm still getting the levels. This doesn't seem to be backing up at all. I haven't had a single item even get to the end here. So I would have to say it works. And if that, if it works and we're all good to go, which I'm pretty sure it does, it's time to go install water streams down below to ship these items all around. So let's get to it. guys, so I'm not even kidding. Like 50 minutes later, I think I figured it out. I have set up. I moved the water stream over a little bit so it now runs over the top of the hoppers. I don't know what it is. I would assume it's some bedrock bugs or whatever, but it doesn't work. Otherwise, you can't seem to align the items across 2 blocks and actually have it get picked up by a hopper because, you know, Bedrock Edition is just so great. But it looks like it's working. Every single item that goes down there, minus the cobblestone slab, looks to be getting picked up. So, I think we're good. Next up, we have to add the allay sorter and then run hoppers from the ground, you know, item dispenser all the way into that little bit for the drowned farm over there. But we're almost done. Okay guys, so it hasn't taken me very long. I decided to look up a tutorial on YouTube and pop into my testing world here to see if it works. But this is going to be the allay in the survival world, and he has the trident. So the way this is set up, every 3 seconds this clock dispenses a trident into the water stream. This could be any item, but the allay will only pick up tridents, so I just figure might as well only put in tridents. But just to prove that, I can throw in my rocket and elytra. But essentially just the way this works, as you can see, these tridents are getting dispensed bit by bit, and this allay is picking them all up and sticking them into this hopper. Now the reason this clock is going off every 3 seconds is because allays can only pick up items every 3 seconds, so if we were going any faster, the allay would be missing the item. But, I mean, yeah, he just continues to grab all these items, and just to prove that it's only working with tridents, the rocket goes by, and it just falls to the end. The elytra just falls to the end, but the trident comes, and boom, into the chest. It's really it's really remarkable what these allays can do. But now that we know this 100% fully works, I say we go build it on the actual server. We go build it on the server and get this item sorter all finished. So I've been AFK here for about 25 minutes, and from that 25-minute AFK, I can determine this isn't necessarily the greatest system ever, but it does seem to be working enough to the point where I'm willing to just roll with it, because I really don't want to rework this whole thing over and over and over anymore, and I don't think I'll ever be AFKing here overnight or anything like that, or long enough to the point where I need to really be concerned about it possibly backing up like this. So I'm gonna roll with it and say that this is complete, and we have finished the Guardian Drowned Farm area over here. And I know I didn't show any of the allay getting put in, so he is over here. It is working. We have gathered 18 more tridents from that 25-minute AFK. So it's, you know, it's not going bad, but it's, the odds of it backlogging are pretty high if we're going to be realistic. And these are all the fully complete tridents that we've managed to collect from this so far. Every trident that comes through here, I do put them all together to get full durability tridents, just for convenience. I will link the video for Silent Whisper's allay design in the description, because it is the design I'm using, and it works very well. Now, unfortunately, this video will be coming out on Monday, so a day late than usual. I normally like to produce and get these How About Dat videos out on Sundays. That just will not be the case this week. I'm very sorry. My normal editing application just stopped working for some reason this week. All the files, everything with it just like corrupt, failed. Even if I uninstalled it, reinstalled it, tried to restore the files, no matter what I did, it would not work. So I spent all day of Saturday trying to just get a new editor and get stuff working, because, you know, the old one wasn't working right. So, normally on Saturdays is when I'm editing and making thumbnails and getting this stuff all finished, but that wasn't the case this week, so unfortunately, you guys will be getting this video on Monday instead of Sunday. Very sorry it's a day late, but it's gonna be what it's gonna be. I can't do anything about it, really. Now, this is gonna end up being the end of today's episode. I am very much so out of time, and, I do gotta get this finished for tomorrow. I do hope you've enjoyed the video. If you've made it this far, do be sure to hit that subscribe button and like the video. Share it around with your friends because, you know, you never know. They might really enjoy watching this. Anyway, this has been Mr. Gaming Aquatic, and I'll see you next week. Bye.